Expo. I'm going to break this video into 3 parts, and they're all going to be timestamped, so you can skip to whatever part you like. But I'm going to go through how I did the ribbons first, because I said I was going to do that video before the con, and then I had to get a new mic. Not that mine was broken or anything, my brother just doesn't give it back. Then I'll talk a little bit about the Sky booth, and then I'm gonna go into what I was doing for the rest of the con, because that was kind of a trash fire. Entirely separate from the Sky booth. Like, to be fully clear, when I say I didn't really like Anime Expo, it's I didn't like Anime Expo minus Sky. Sky actually salvaged my experience there, which was really funny. Okay, so the ribbons. So I've been really jealous of the bigger trading and freebie culture they have in the Chinese and other international Sky communities. So you might remember that at the 2 Ember screening in LA last year, I brought some keychains and stuff with me to give to people I met there. I wanted to do that again, but I decided to go to the con like a week in advance, so there was no way I was going to be able to order anything professionally printed or cut out. So I had to brainstorm something I could do almost entirely at home. I had never been to a con before, but something I thought was really cute were badge ribbons, which are little ribbons with funny phrases or designs that people trade and sell at conventions. They stick to your badge and are kind of a way of representing different fandoms you're in, people you saw at the con, or parts of your personality. So for my ribbons, I thought it would be really cute to make them Sky themed and kind of immersive. So with spells and curses being something that you can stick on people in the game, it felt like the perfect concept for this. I mean, I guess I could have done something with the season, because that was like the whole move concept. But anyway, I threw these designs together in Affinity with the curse spell icons from Mischief and some text with a cute font, and then I made up a worm curse, because I like the lurker, and it gets left out of dark creature stuff way too often. The supplies were actually way simpler than I thought. You just need some type of wide ribbon, double-sided tape, and if you want a special edge on it, you can get some pinking shears. This is, of course, deceptively simple, as I soon found out. Remember whose channel you're watching, this isn't gonna go smoothly. So I had to find some way to print my designs on the ribbons. I watched like every tutorial there is on making badge ribbons, but it seems like most people just buy them from websites, so the pool of knowledge was pretty small. The people that do hand make them all seem to figure out their own way, so some tutorials had them drawing on each ribbon with pen, some had them cut out their own stamps, and some used heat transfers. Heat transfers is what I ended up using because I found a local print shop here does them really fast, and I was in a huge time crunch to get these done in less than a week. I'm not gonna say which shop because A, I just said it's where I live, and B, they sent me AI generated stickers with my order, and that kind of weirded me out. But the transfers themselves actually came out really nicely, so I can't be too harsh. The next step was just cutting everything out, which was super easy with the transfers, but oh my god, the ribbons. I found online that the Anime Expo badge is 3 inches across, so each ribbon also had to be 3 inches, give or take. I say give or take because it's actually stupidly hard to cut something accurately with the pinking shears, and I probably should have cut all of these to size with normal scissors first and then used the shears just on the border, but you live and you learn. One of the things people were doing online was using fray check glue where they cut to keep the ends from fraying, but I was like, I'm not gonna need that. I did need that. So much fraying and fluff everywhere. I used a lighter on all the edges later, but I kind of burnt some, and most still ended up fraying a little bit while I was at the con, so yeah, use the glue, you need the glue. When everything was cut out, I busted out the iron. For DTF transfers, they recommend that you use an actual heat press to stick them on fabric, and an iron will apparently only kind of do the job. But kind of doing the job is the kind of job that we do here, so I used the iron. I put a little bit of parchment paper over the ribbon and transfer so I could go over it with the iron and not have to worry about catching the edges. But the transfer ended up not getting hot enough with just a few swipes. So in order to get them to stick properly, I had to let them kind of bake under the iron for a while. Don't do that and leave the iron unattended, by the way, I'm just saying. After they were all ironed, I cut out all of the strips of double-sided tape and stuck them across the top of each ribbon, and I thought they turned out really cute. Like, there was a little bit of an oopsie with one of the krill ribbons because the tape was too strong, but people seem to like them, so if you'd like to use this design for your own projects, I'll have them linked in the description. Okay, Now for the con itself. I was there for Sky only, and everything else was going to be extra. But you'd better believe I was going to be there as early as possible to beat the crowds. I got in line to pick up my badge at around 8 a.m. and the line moved pretty quickly, so by 9 a.m. I was able to get in right when the con opened. I had actually made a map for myself of where the Sky booth and some other things were supposed to be, but I completely forgot to send it to my phone, so I had to rely on the physical map they gave us at the entrance. Luckily, the Sky booth was pretty hard to miss with the giant That Game Company halo above it, so I got there pretty quickly. I don't really know what I expected when they said there was going to be an interactive experience, but a whole wheat field in their booth was actually incredible. Members of staff were leading people down a pathway through the wheat with iPads to view the AR part of the booth, and they were really kind about helping me film and making sure I didn't miss anything for this video. Even though I was told ahead of time that staff at the booth would be happy to help me with that, I still felt really nervous being like, "Hi, I'm one of your troop creators, can you walk me through this? Please help me." So in the wheat field, you could of course see the star of the show, Van Gogh, or Van Gogh, I should say. If you stood in the little nook, you could take a picture with him, but he also had interactions with the little in-game moth that I thought were really cute. In the next section, they had the chair from the bedroom in painting, which was displayed on the side of the booth, and also an AR card, I'll explain later. There was also a Sky Kid using the upcoming painting emote hidden in the wheat. The finale was pointing the iPad at the bedroom painting, which allowed you to look around inside a 3D recreation of it. I was told the card I was given had the same effect, so I tried it out, and even though it was a little buggy, it was still such a fun concept. Like, if you'd like to try it yourself at home, I'll put the painting up on the screen. It was simple, but really cute and immersive, so I'm super glad I got to have this experience. Season of Van Gogh was such a unique and moving experience in beta, so I'm really excited to see it in live again after this. The booth also had some goodies, like the notorious blue bags that continue to make an appearance at every Sky event. I have an entire drawer of these, and now I have 2 more, because I grabbed one to be funny, and then staff handed me another one. If you made a post about the booth with these hashtags, you could also get a big blue cape backpack. Now, I've seen these before in posts about Chinese Sky assemblies, so I was really excited to see them here. I have a funny story about this backpack that you'll hear later. So, by the time I had finished filming the walkthrough, my social battery was like 0, so I gave 2 of the staff some ribbons and left to go take a break and eat outside. But not before opening my bag and realizing that my water bottle had leaked onto my signature bag and destroyed some of the signatures on it that I've been collecting for a few years, which really bummed me out. I had been keeping the ribbons in that bag, so I rushed to take them out and check if they got wet, and I accidentally dumped them all onto the con floor. But, you know, no biggie. I picked everything up and just kind of made peace that the signatures were gone so I could get outside and eat something. So I get outside the con and finally find a table where they were doing some kind of live VTuber concert. But then I placed my water bottle down and watch in absolute horror as the thing throws itself off the table, hits the ground, and starts rolling across the ground, getting scratched and banged up. This was a new water bottle, by the way, and I had to chase after it. And I'm like, oh, okay. Then I realized my phone is dying after all the recording, so I reach into my bag to plug it into the portable battery I spent all night charging, and nothing. No charge. I start, obviously, freaking out a little bit because it was only like 11 a.m. at this point. So I still had hours left of the con to go with barely 15% on my phone. But I figure maybe the battery is broken and I can go to the quiet lounge and plug my phone in there. So on the upper floor of Anime Expo, they have a quiet lounge that was supposed to have tables and charging stations, so I made my way up there. Except I get to the checkpoint for the quiet lounge and ask if I can charge my stuff, and the lady in charge was like, oh, I don't know, which threw me off. Eventually, she checked inside and confirmed they did have outlets, so I scanned my badge, found a seat, and plugged my cable into the USB outlet. Nothing again. Now I was really freaking out because this meant my cable was broken, so I couldn't charge my phone anywhere. I had to quickly find out where I could buy a new cable before my phone died, which ended up being a Target down the road. So I had to go outside, check out of the con at the checkpoint, walk to Target in the insane heat, and then I get there and realize, of course, it's LA and the whole electronics section is locked up, so I have to ask an employee to help me. And I'm like, oh, hi, I need to get a cable from the case. And the guy gets really mean and impatient with me, saying the one I pointed at won't work. And I'm like crazy stressed and exhausted at this point, so I'm like, oh, sorry, I didn't know. And then I pick a cable and we go to checkout, and he's like rushing me through saying, if you have a phone number, put it in. If you don't, tap I don't care. And the whole time I'm like, what did I do? Anyway, I get my cable and I leave the store, and then I'm taking the packaging off and I realize it has a zip tie on it and I'm gonna have to get that off. So I'm out here looking crazy in front of Target, chewing on this thing, trying to get my cable out, and even using one of the keychains on my bag to wrench this thing open, which ended up working. Thank you, Prophecy. And finally, thankfully, I get to plug the cable into the portable battery and my phone comes back to life. A bunch of other stuff happened, but the short version is I had a burger at Five Guys and I went back to Target for blister bandages because my feet were killing me. By this point, I was kind of done with the con altogether and really debating whether I wanted to go back, because I was hot and sweaty and exhausted from the whole phone situation, and the crowd had gotten way worse after noon, so the other freebies and stuff were basically all gone at this point. And the booths I wanted to see all had capped lines, and they were telling everyone else to go away and come back later. But I didn't want to just like wait around to go inside and spend more money. So the only reason I went back was because I realized my cape backpack was ripped, and I wanted to see if I could get another one at the Sky booth before I went home. So I waited in the huge line to get back in, and I dove back into the crowded West Hall. This is where it gets really funny. Someone actually saw my cape backpack in the crowd and stopped me to ask where the Sky booth was, so I ended up leading them there and gave them a ribbon, which reminded me that I still hadn't fulfilled my mission to curse people at the con. The TGC stuff, I think, had rotated out by this point, so there was a whole new group of people I hadn't cursed yet. And when I saw Tio there, I knew I had to at least crab curse the crab, so I offered him one. And he already had one. Can you believe that? One of my previous cursees cursed him. But by my second visit to the booth, I had kind of gotten over the nervousness I had in the morning and got to talk to more people about Sky and the new season. And I'm really glad I went back because I got to end my first con experience on a positive note. When I mentioned that I liked Dear Van Gogh in beta because of how much I related to his struggle as an artist, Tio said it was the same for people at TGC, which only made me appreciate the season more. So I have to say overall, Anime Expo was rough, but Sky was very much a highlight. Thank you so much to everyone at the Sky booth for the wonderful experience, and thank you for watching so I can go out and do these things. There will be a book signing in LA next month for the seasonal art book, so stay tuned for that if you enjoyed watching me go outside. I also have an in-game performance for the anniversary, so there will be an announcement for that when I finish the graphic. Okay, bye.